This is your Barbados Today morning news update for Thursday, May the 17th. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Thanks for joining us. Absolute rubbish. That's how Minister of Finance Chris Sinclair described an alarm raised by Barbados Labour Party spokesman Dale Marshall yesterday evening that Cabinet was set to go through with the sale of the Hilton Barbados Resort before the end of this week without the approval of the shareholders. Sinclair told Barbados Today Marshall's concern was nothing but garbage, while explaining that there was a step-by-step process that had to be followed in order to sell the property. It was at a news conference at the BLP headquarters in Roebuck Street, the city, yesterday afternoon that Marshall told reporters he was reliably informed that the matter would come up for discussion at today's cabinet meeting.
The essential point is this, that notwithstanding that the shareholders meeting has not or will not be continuing at this point in time, the directors of Needham's Point Limited will still be able to contract for the sale of the Hilton Hotel, and we have reliable and absolutely credible information that the sale of the Hilton Hotel is intended to be dealt with further at a meeting of Cabinet tomorrow. What is of particular concern is exactly that fact, that this is the last Cabinet meeting of what is now absolutely a lame duck administration. 8 days away from a general election, and this government could still want to give active consideration for the approval and the proceeding with of one of Barbados's treasured assets.
Campaign manager for the Democratic Labour Party, Robert Bobby Morris, has promised that its manifesto will be a tough but responsible one, saying that the manifesto recently released by the opposition Barbados Labour Party was unrealistic and unattainable. Morris promised that the DLP would reveal a manifesto which caters to fixing the island's economic challenges. The manifesto will be launched on Thursday night at Oyston's Christ Church. A Solutions Barbados government is promising to make criminal offenders pay for the cost of the justice system. In the party's election broadcast last night, Solutions Barbados leader Grenville Phillips said all offenses would attract a fine of 10 times the value of the offense. Phillips also pledged that all individuals and businesses would be taxed at 10% of total income without deductions, while all old debt would be forgiven and the value-added tax of VAT would be abolished. In sports, former West Indies fast bowling all-rounder Vasbert Drakes says regional cricket umpires must be fearless and red flag bowlers with suspect actions from an early age. This forthrightness, he explained, would help coaches in taking young bowlers out of the game earlier in their careers and giving them the rehabilitation work necessary to correct any defects in their bowling. Now, last December, young West Indies fast bowler Ronsford Beaton was reported during the second one-day international between the West Indies and New Zealand while he was on tour. Beaton, a former West Indies under-19 player, made his first-class debut in 2011 for Guyana. Since then, he has taken 64 wickets in 33 first-class matches, 43 wickets in 30 List A games, and dismissed 42 batsmen in 46 T20 games.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
One night, one winner, only one team can deliver. Balance, comprehensive, unrivaled coverage. Barbados Today, Capital Media HD 99.3 and 6 Gear Studios. Don't miss election night on www.facebook.com/Barbados Today, on www.barbadostoday.bb, live on www.capitalmediahd.com, and on www.facebook.com/Capital Media HD.
We are back with news from the region now. The Trinidad government is seeking to move $796 million from the Infrastructure and Development Fund to several ministries and state entities which are requesting funding. It's supposed to further allow for the growth of the gross domestic product. but there are concerns, one of which is that the money is not being used for the purpose it was intended.
Very recently, last week, received a report from Moody's, and they have confirmed, maintained the position that we had last year, which is BA1 and stable.
However, opposition Senator Taraka Obika labels the move to withdraw from the fund as irresponsible, and he feels the economic projection is politically motivated.
It's a mama guy, and it's pressing to change from this tightening of your belt for the past 2 years and 8 months as they rush to 2020 for the general elections to face the populace.
Independent Senator Torel Shrikissoon says if government's forecast of TNT is correct, then he's optimistic. But he has some concerns over the proposed drawdown from the Infrastructure and Development Fund, which he notes is in place to finance capital projects.
We are withdrawing funding out of this fund for the purpose of budget support. Trinidad and Tobago is at a time where we need to stimulate economic activity, and withdrawing funds from the Infrastructural and Development Fund will not materialize in increased economic activity, and when it goes to budget support, it just becomes diluted.
And on the global front, a whistleblower on the now-defunct political data firm Cambridge Analytica told U.S. senators Wednesday that U.S. President Donald Trump's former aide, Steve Bannon, sought to use personal information collected online to promote a cultural war.
I've come here today voluntarily as a witness and as a whistleblower. I was the Director of Research at SCL and Cambridge Analytica from mid-2013 to late 2014. SCL Group was a British military contractor specializing in information operations. Cambridge Analytica was created to allow SCL to work in the United States. When I was at Cambridge Analytica, I was also made aware of the firm's black ops capacity. I have seen documents relating to instances where the firm sought to procure hacked material. Of further concern is Cambridge Analytica's employment of people closely associated with WikiLeaks and Julian Assange. In addition to making approaches to WikiLeaks, the firm hired 2 senior staff, both of whom were previously aides to the British lawyer representing Julian Assange. Cambridge Analytica sought to identify mental vulnerabilities in voters and worked to exploit them by targeting information designed to activate some of the worst characteristics in people, such as neuroticism, paranoia, and racial biases.
And that's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media in bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Have a fantastic day.